Have you ever been around a man who's a really big sports fan? I mean, he's really into his team, wears all the merchandise, cries when they lose. Or how about a man who's into anime and he's a big anime fan and he'll sit there and discuss with you why the TV show is not as good as the original manga that he's read and memorized. You see, men are just like that. We're passionate. And the reason is we have conviction. Men were created to have convictions. And you know what? Men need convictions because when men flow in their convictions, that's when they become better men. That's when they can do things that make a difference in the world. So today we're going to learn why men need conviction in their life. So let's go. Okay, growing up, I was pretty insecure. I just was. I wanted people to accept me. And so what I would do is I would kind of morph to whoever I was around. And I would be what those people needed me to be for them to accept me. You know, there's a saying that says, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And that was me, because one thing that I lacked is conviction. And as men, we need conviction today. Now, men were created to have convictions. We just were. We were created to take a stand. Now, sometimes that stand is right. Sometimes it's wrong. But men will stand. We will stand for something. We've seen it throughout history. You know, that men will take a stand with conviction and they'll make a difference. Now, sometimes that difference is good. Sometimes it's bad. Like Adolf Hitler was a man of conviction. Now, his conviction was wrong, but he was very passionate about it and he changed the world. Abraham Lincoln was a man of conviction. And even though a lot of people came against him and he failed many times, he kept going and he made a difference in the world. You see, men were created to flow with conviction. When you have conviction as a man, you flow in your natural state. There's power in your conviction as a man. And that's why you want to focus it the right way. One thing that helps you grow your conviction is kind of figuring yourself out. I've got a 4A assessment that'll help you understand yourself, your achievements, your appetites, your attitude, and your action. Check it out at the link below. Now, men without a moral foundation are very dangerous with their convictions. Just like we talked about earlier with Adolf Hitler, he didn't have good moral foundations, so his convictions hurt a lot of people. You see, when a man doesn't have convictions or doesn't have convictions that are really based up in a moral foundation, he becomes a slave of his own desires. You see, no convictions equals selfishness. Convictions that are in the wrong area also equal selfishness. It's about power. It's about their own purpose. It's about selfishness. You see, a man who doesn't really have good convictions, he becomes the central purpose of his life. Many men who lack moral foundations, their convictions are all about instant gratification. They live for the momentary pleasure. They don't think about the future. They don't think about people they're hurting. They just want to have fun in the moment because that's their conviction. Their conviction is themselves. And we see that throughout society today. Men who are animalistic, they're only living for the momentary pleasure. They're not thinking about anyone else and they're hurting a lot of people. And a lot of those men live for things like status and money. And what they want is just stuff for their own ego, and that's all they're feeding. And what this does is it shows a desperation, a lack of real solid convictions in their life. And without good moral foundations, your convictions will end up destroying you. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to like it and subscribe so you don't miss another video in the future. Now, there's a lot of men out there who just go with the flow. And those men actually give up on their convictions. They just kind of go along with what everybody else is doing. These men are easily led or easily distracted. You see, your convictions as a man, they help shape you. They help define who you are as a man. So you want to have convictions. When you just kind of go along with everybody else, you lose who you are. You lose your own convictions because you're choosing to live without them. And when you do that, you're going to follow other people. You're going to be easily led by someone else. Now, this doesn't mean you don't join movements. It doesn't mean you don't become a part of things. In fact, with your convictions, you'll actually join and be a better, bigger part of something. It actually means that you're going to make a difference with your convictions because your convictions will compel you to join things, to make a difference and touch other people with your life. You want to be a man of conviction because when you are, you're going to make the most difference in the world. I want you to take some time this week and ask yourself these questions. These are just things to help you start building your convictions. The questions are, what are my convictions? What is it that you live for? What is something that you're passionate about? Something that you really believe in that's going to make a difference in other people's lives. You see, if you're just passionate about yourself, about your comfort, then that's not really a good conviction. Start finding a purpose bigger than yourself as a man, and you're going to make a bigger difference in the world.